What's up, this is GM, and before I start, I want to tell you about TubeBuddy. In case you don't know, TubeBuddy is a free website that will help you manage and grow your YouTube channel. Thanks to them, some of my videos even show up as top results. Want to give them a try? Check the description below for the link. Today's product is Movo's smartphone video bundle. So I'm going to go ahead and move this huge box out of the way. I'm going to bring over this case that everything came in. So first off, we have the manual. It's a pretty large manual as well, as you can see. It has a lot of info in here on how to use every little bit of this product, which I think is great. It has the phone number if you need help, email, their website, social media, all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. And I'll go ahead and open this box up so you can see what came inside. So we have a lot of things in here. So just to go over a few of them, we have the VXR10 Pro cardioid microphone with shock mount and windscreen. We have the MVT1 tripod, the PR3 phone holder for video recording, the LED XS panel light, we have the SPL-WA wide angle lens, and we have a Bluetooth shutter remote. So I'm going to start off by going over some general info and showing how this all kind of looks set up together. And then I'll go into a final pros and cons list. So the mic is right over. Let me go and turn this so it's a little easier to see as well. So we have the mic right here. And this is their VXR10 Pro shotgun mic, which has a super cardioid polar pattern. So I'll go and put that back. We have the LEDX over here, the LED XS light, which has 3 adjustable brightness and 49 LED bulbs. Then we have the lens over here. So I'm gonna go and open that up a little bit later to show a little bit better. But this is a wide angle lens, which is great for panoramic shots. We have the phone holder right over here, which can hold a phone that is up to 4 inches wide. We have the tripod right in here. And this tripod has 2 different extendable lengths. And this whole thing weighs about 3.6 pounds. So it's not too heavy, you know, if you need to take it places with you, which I assume if you're buying something like this, you will be using this for travel purposes especially. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of these things that we got in here. So right here, we kind of have an extension for the tripod. So I guess we'll start off with the tripod. So the tripod has 2 different lengths. So let me go and extend this all the way first. So here is the first length. And if you can see here, it allows you to extend it even more by turning it. And now I can push it 1 extra notch. It isn't the biggest difference, but it can make a difference. Here we have a little, let me go ahead and close this up. Right here, it's a locking mechanism to allow this ball to move around. So I'll go ahead and unlock it. And as you can see, now it's super loose. This also is going to turn now. So I'll go ahead and lock this back into place. It's not exactly straight right now, but you know, you can always fix that as needed. So now let's talk about this. You can attach this to the top of this if you need to make the tripod longer. And I'll go ahead and show you, you can go ahead and make this longer as well. So you can actually go quite a height for, you know, such a small tripod. I have reviewed other ones like these before, but I haven't had one where you can adjust this little extension piece that goes on top, plus one that lets you kind of change how wide you make the stance. And keep in mind, if you do make a wider stance, it will be a little bit more sturdy as well. So that might be another reason you may want to do it all the way. Let me go ahead and put this back down real quick. So here we have some padding on the outside and on the insides and just kind of on the tip there, so that way it doesn't slip around. So that way if you wanted to hold it like this, it will be really comfortable in your hand. And if you were to just kind of lay it out like this, it won't move around very easily. And then of course right here we have a little bit of padding too, so when you screw this on, it kind of just stays stuck on. And so let's go ahead and move these pieces out of the way. So right here is kind of like a monopod, so you can attach this to the base of this and you can carry it around like a monopod. Nothing too special about it, nothing too fancy. As you can see, it's just a kind of soft rubbery base so it doesn't slip around easily. It's a bit heavy, which I think is good, so that way you have that sturdiness in your hand. let's go ahead and talk about this since I already mentioned a little bit. This is where you would clip on your phone. You can see it has the little fluids to kind of show you if it's balanced, if it's even. So right about there would be even on this. Well, it's a little hard to get in my hand, but you get the idea. And so you can always adjust as needed no matter how you turn it. And then if you need to make it wider, you just loosen this. You see it's getting wider and wider. And that way you can fit your phone in here. Right here we have, let's see if I can get a better angle. This is some rubber, so that way your phone doesn't slip out easily. It'll stay stuck in there. It's a little curved as well, so that way it doesn't fall forward. Then on the bottom here, we have the spot where you would want to attach it to either the tripod, to this monopod, or this monopod, depending on what you need. And then, of course, you can turn your phone and tighten back here, so that way it stays in place. So whichever way you need. And it looks like you can actually screw it in like this as well, which I think is kind of interesting. So if you wanted to, you could attach it like this. Not sure if you would really need to at any point, but that is an option. Same with on this side. So they have a lot of different ways that you can kind of set it up, which I think is interesting. So I guess this could be one reason for using it, is if you need the camera to face forward and you're just kind of like scoping around. But you know, that's up to you depending on what you need. I'll go and loosen that off. All right, now we've got the lens. It's a pretty basic lens. As you can see, I haven't actually taken off the thing. I always like to keep it in case I am storing it back in so it doesn't get dirty. So I always stick it back on and then put this back on. That's just my own preference. You don't have to do that. And here is the cap. I'm going to set this to the side. So now we've got the light. It has an on-off switch. As you can see, it's pretty bright actually. It's a little hard to tell because I have a lot of natural light coming into the room, but it is a decent amount of light. And as you can see, I can make it brighter as well. And you can decrease the brightness till it's off, on, and max. And then of course you have different modes as well. Charging point, which is a USB-C. Now we have the shotgun mic. I've actually had similar shotgun mics in the past, and it's pretty easy to use. You just kind of plug in to these. So this one is for getting the audio into whatever your device is. This one is if you want to kind of hear the audio. So I'm going to place this to the side as well. This is the Bluetooth shutter. Pretty standard. You've probably seen these. They're really easy to use. It has an on-off switch back here. And the type of battery that you need to put in this is a CR2032 battery. Let me see if I can open up the panel on this. Oh, sorry, there's a screw. So the panel won't open on its own. You're going to have to unscrew it. I usually don't use these, but some people will need to use these, so you know, that's dependent on you. I like that it has this little clip as well, so that way you can just kind of hang it off of something so it doesn't get lost easily. And then here we have a couple different wires. So here we have the charging wire for the light. I'll go ahead and place that down. And then right here we have two different aux cables. And these cables actually will matter a lot. And I think it's very important that they gave you both of these. And it even shows you what exactly they're meant for. So we have the TRRS to TRS, which is used for DSLRs. So that's this one right here. You might be able to see a small picture of a camera. I suggest you don't rip this off so that way you know for sure which one goes with which. And you need to make sure you put in the correct side for what device you're plugging into. So this one would go into the DSLR, and I'll bring it a little bit closer. So as you can see, it has like 2 rings right there. This one has 3 rings, and this will go into whatever device you're getting the audio from. So in this case, I'd plug it into here. And then this side will go into the camera itself. Now this one is different. It is a TRRS to TRRS, so pretty much just the same ones. And you would use this one more so for smartphones, maybe tablets, and other devices. So if you didn't know this, DSLRs usually use a different wire than smartphones do. And if you didn't know that, now you do. So you would, for this one, it says, you know, this one will go in the smartphone, this one will go into like this, but I don't think it actually makes a difference. I don't use the wires it came with because I have my own. But the kind of wire I use is this because I usually use my phone to record. When I do use a DSLR, I do have a backup of one of these wires. So that is another thing to keep in mind. You can use your own wires if you want. Usually it's recommended that you use the ones it came with. I personally like to use my own because I like to save the ones that are, you know, packaged up that I don't need in case I need them in the future. And then we have a lot of other small little gadgets and gizmos over here. This will go on top of this. You take this off and then put this on. It helps with reducing wind noise. This clip is for the lens, so you can clip it onto your phone. This is just a cloth, so you can wipe off the lens. Got stickers. And then we have the mounts. We have 2 of them here, as you can see. And then over here, it's just a kind of, are you happy or not? Let us know, that kind of stuff. General stuff that you get in one of these types of packages. So overall, this is a lot of stuff. As you can see, might not all be in view right now, kind of scattered all over the place. But this is a lot of stuff for someone who is needing to start maybe a YouTube channel. Like, this is pretty much everything you need to start right off the bat. I like that they put this all in one big package. In fact, I'm going to start putting this back as I talk. I think it's great that they did this. It makes it a lot easier for those of you who aren't sure what you need to get, because this really does have everything. You know, you don't really need to purchase any other products. You just buy this one big gadget or this one big box, and you buy your phone, or, you know, if you already have your phone, then that's even better. And then you're good to go. You know, that's really helpful for a lot of people who are starting off and don't really know what they need. This will literally give you everything, and I think it will be good for those of you who also plan on upgrading, you know, in the future. Perhaps you're like, oh, I'm going to upgrade my lighting and stuff. Well, you can upgrade your lighting then, but you have this as a backup, and you still have all these other gadgets. So that way, if you can only afford to get a light in the future and you can't afford a tripod right off the bat, well, you still have your old tripod. You still have another mic that you can use. So, you know, you don't need to be too hasty about every little purchase, or you can go ahead and buy what you need and not worry about it too much. Plus, I like that it came with even stuff that I probably wouldn't really need, such as the lens. The mic, I like. I've had certain similar ones in the past. I think one thing that they've definitely improved on compared to other kind of beginner packs that I've seen in the past is the fact that you can kind of extend your tripod as well. I think that is a nice little additional feature. Plus, I love this case because it lets you carry it around with you very easily. All right, so let's go into my final pros and cons list. Pros includes that the fact that it has everything that you need, which is perfect for a starter, especially since it has, again, the tripod, the light, the mic. The tripod is extendable, which you don't usually see in these types of packs. It even lets you use a monopod for those of you who want to record on the go. The only real con I can see is that it won't be helpful for those of you using a DSLR. You know, you can use a lot of these for a DSLR, but I think personally this is more meant for those of you who are using smartphones. I think it's better for those of you using smartphones, but I wouldn't say, you know, avoid this if you are using a DSLR. I just think that this is more so meant for those of you using smartphones. However, I do want to say a lot of these parts, such as the mic, the light, and tripod, could still be used with it, and it's just a good long-term investment overall. Plus, I think it's great that it came with the case, so it is easy to take with you wherever you go. It'll make it a lot easier for you. And like I said, since it is that long-term investment, you know, you're not going to have to upgrade everything at once. You can do one small thing here or there as you get the money or the funding for whatever you need. That's it for this video. Link to this product is in the description below. If you found the video helpful, I'd love it if you could leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment below as well.